Where are we? What the hell is going on? The dust has only just
Welcome to the Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for Camp Wanderlust. Please welcome to the stage your host, Spencer Sellens.
Yay, give it up for me. Yay, you fill the comedy club with your friends and they'll let you do the show. Hooray me. No, thank you. Hey, thank you everyone who came out tonight. You guys are amazing. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, be a little bit more. Give yourself some respect. The respect you deserve. Okay? I don't deserve a lot of respect, though. I admit it. No, I don't. Well, actually, hold on. Before I get into the story, welcome to Camp Wanderlust. Sorry, hold on. I went right into the show. You guys are better than that. Don't just go straight into material, Spencer. These people paid for a show. You gotta bring them. You gotta bring them up to speed. You can't just go right into it. Okay? You guys are better than this. I'm better than this. Anyway, I digress. Welcome to Camp Wanderlust. All right. We're like an amalgamation of story shows that used to happen pre-COVID. It was a storytelling or a travel show and a scary story show. Now we're a scary travel show or traveling scary. Really, it's up to you. Or just storytelling shows. Basically, we have a pretty fun time here telling stories. But we do. I got a lot of great comics tonight. A lot of my favorite comics. A lot of comics that really make me feel insecure about my own comedy. These guys are great. I'm really excited, but I digress. So anyway, why don't I deserve respect, Spencer, as I go back into my thing? I don't deserve respect because I don't make good choices. Okay, it's as simple as that. All right, I was sent to, I used to work for an elevator company, and I was sent to overseas on a business trip to basically supervise the factory. I don't know, just basically be a guy that like stands in the background, just kind of walks around and just, all right, they're doing it right. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way. Like I was waiting tables at Red Robin before I started working here. Okay, I knew nothing. But anyway, so they sent me there to go to work at the factory to figure out how the stuff works, how elevators work. And basically, that was a whole shit show of another story. But basically, this specific story is what happened the night of our farewell dinner. All right, we had a big old happy goodbye. Thank God, let's get these white devils out of here. Dinner. It was great. We were in Qingdao. Anyone from Qingdao in the audience? No Shandong warriors out here. Shout out to the actual name of the local CBC Chinese Basketball Association team, all right? Let's go Shandong Warriors. Shandong, all right, I got the name wrong, okay? I don't make good choices. I don't remember the cities of the places I go. I'm better than this. Anyway. So I'm at this dinner, and in this particular part of China, they have nothing but like shellfish. Shellfish is like the most popular thing to eat on the menu. I am deathly allergic to shellfish, so I can't really eat any of that. So basically, they take us to this big elaborate dinner, and they have like the spinning table in the middle, like the Lazy Susan. So they have these big like plates of food that you pass around. Take a little bit, put on your plate. Take a little bit, put on your plate. All stuff that I can't eat. So I'm basically nibbling on crackers. I mean, it's great. Water crackers, it's delicious. And I'm just trying to pretend like, oh, this is yum. Like, I just have other food on my plate that I can't even eat or even touch without like getting horribly sick. I'm like, oh, this is delicious. Yummy, yum. And just the it's kind of a stressful thing trying to avoid death, but also be like socially polite at the same time. But anyway, so, we're having fun, drinking tea and eating food, but now it's business time, okay? It's Chinese business time. We're busting out the Baiju, and we're not saying farewell to the Goldberg. That's a bad Jew joke, I'm sorry, but no, but Baiju is like Chinese hooch. It's like the liquor of choice. It is straight fire water. Okay? It is death. It's liquid death. And whatever that shit in a can is, no, it's actual liquid death. Okay? By the way, whose cans water and calls it liquid death? All right, no, this is not an open mic. We're not going to do this. Like, what's the deal with liquid death cans? I don't know, but I should write a joke about that. Anywho, so we bust out the liquid death, the Baiju. The Goldbergs are gone. And they're busting out these double shots. And there's a saying in Chinese drinking culture, ganbei, which is like finish it, like bottoms up or whatever. I don't know. That's basically what it means. Just drink that shit. And well, I heard a ganbei. When I have no food in my stomach, and I don't deserve respect. I don't make good choices, but I am a cultural attaché to China from America, okay? I'm respectful. If a local tells me to drink that shit, I'm gonna drink it. Okay? So they say, ganbei, Spencer, and like, oh, yum, 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 yum. And I just put it down, and they're all looking like, oh, shit. The white boy actually did it. Oh, my God. Like, they were totally fucking with me. And and it's, by the way, it's me and my other friend who we're both coworkers, and we're in the same exact situation. Like, neither of us can eat shellfish. We're trying to survive. And also, so no food in our stomachs except for a little bit of water crackers, which, are great for soaking up countless gallons of Baiju. I'm gonna pretend like it was gallons, okay? Don't worry, I don't know measurements, okay? I pretend that I use the metric system, but I don't know what it actually is, okay? But enough about my illiteracy. Back to the story. So after two more of these ganbeis, and I just kept going. I thought it would be a good idea. Just because I know that American and Chinese relationships are in the toilet right now. Okay, I did it for my country. I love America. And I wanted to understand China. So what better way to do it than getting fall down drunk in a restaurant and yelling at the locals saying that they poisoned me. They poisoned me with their fire water. But anyway, so there's absolutely no food that we've gone through appetizers, we've gone through dinner. There's nothing. Everything is a goddamn fucking crustacean. Like there's nothing we can find that not even a bread roll or pot sticker. Like I wasn't expecting orange chicken or like Beijing beef. We were in a different part of the country. They don't have Beijing beef in Qingdao. That's racist. How dare you? Jesus. But I came to grips with my bigotry and the lack of Beijing beef. And so we're on our way home. I'm fall down drunk. My buddy he tapped out 2 shots in and was just vomiting in the bathroom like the entire rest of dinner, which was the smartest idea that he had all night because I just powered through that, all right? I'm a good Irish Catholic, all right? You take the poison in, you hold it in, and you take it out on other people. Okay? That's how you deal with trauma. Okay? But so we're in the taxi, and as you can imagine, I mean, if I say someone's drunk and they're in the middle seat of a taxi, you can imagine what's going on in their tum-tum, right? We all certainly had an idea. The look on his face, it looked like he pulled out of a goddamn foxhole. He was gaunt, pale. He was about to die, and I knew. I didn't no idea what pullover was in Mandarin, but he understood pullover when I was screaming at him. Pull over! He pulls over, and I do like the coolest thing I've ever done. Like it was like a movie jumping out of a moving car, even though it was a stationary car. Like I was just like jumping out and rolling through the street because out behind, I'm being chased by a stream of vomit. Like as I fall out, I can just see like, oh shit, oh man! It was like a quick time event that I just got the square. Okay. Drunk in China, the Telltale Adventure. Shout out to the 2 people that got that one. All right, we're gamers. And not just because we're misogynists. Anyway, so this has all been a terrible night so far. But what better way? So I'm dying of thirst. I mean, I'm like 28 at this point. I've had hangovers for 10 years. I'm not like 20 and you just wake up and everything's fine. I knew that I was gonna be fucked in the morning. So I had to get water. We could not drink the tap water. They specifically say, I know it's China. Montezuma was made it all the way over here, and he cursed our local tap water as well. Do not drink it. So I had to go to the corner store, get some bottled water. I can barely walk. They have this thing in China where if you want to take off your shoes, you got to step up into this thing and then kick off your shoes and then step up into the house. So, me holding a bunch of water, drunk, can barely walk. Shockingly, I'm unable to clear this step up into the house, trip and fall. Right in front of me is the glass sliding door into the kitchen. Just boom, boom. Again, quick time event, did not press square in time! And just right through this glass door, hands out. Don't worry, my hands brace my fall, and the glass breaks my hands, okay? It was great. There was glass everywhere, blood everywhere. Just my blood, don't worry. Just my blood. And, by the way, our flight has been moved to the next morning. Our job rented out this Airbnb for us in whatever the fuck local Airbnb was in China, and we have destroyed it, effectively destroyed it, and so we leave the next day. By the way, I'm packing all my shit into my bag with my hands that I've barely washed. As you can imagine, the TSA the next day at the airport. As they open up the bag and there's just glass and blood in there, they had a couple extra questions for me. All right. Hey, you guys have been great. I haven't figured out how to end this story properly. Are you guys ready for you guys ready for the next comic of your evening? Yeah! I don't care if I messed it up. Let's give it up for your next comic, all right? This guy's he's a great person, all right? One, he hosts his own show here, the Obscure Movie Trivia Show. Everybody give it up for my friend, Buddy.
Yes, give it up for Spencer, you guys. That's my dude. I love when he goes into 1980s comic voice and just keeps going into it. See? I feel so bad for his wife, don't you guys? What do those nights gotta be like? I'm sorry I came so fast. Anyways, more about me. Let's not be mean to Spencer right now. I'm gonna tell you guys about my time in prison. I don't know why you guys laughed already. Okay, well, so maybe it wasn't prison. It was county jail, and maybe it wasn't a really long stay. It was only 12 hours, but if you guys are looking at me, you guys could probably tell that was kind of tough for me. I don't know, maybe because I paint my nails, maybe because I'm wearing women's pants. And you can tell they're women's pants because, of course, the pockets are only about 2 inches deep. Which, just on a tangent, shout out to Spencer's podcast, Tangents. But on a tangent on that, can we just confirm that men are the ones who created women's clothing, especially women's pants, because they had to convince women that you don't need more than 2 inches. But yeah, my prison stay, or my jail stay. So happened a couple years back. What happened the night before to get me into this jail cell was I was going out with some friends to a country bar. I don't really trust country bars because I look the way I look. So I decided to DD that night, and my friends were going to get really drunk. I was going to drive them safely. But because we were at a country bar, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a cranberry juice because I don't trust their water. Anything water-wise in a country bar is just dangerous. So I got a cranberry juice, and there was a couple of people with me, but there was a couple of females as well. Fast forward to the next day. I'm woken up, butt naked, by 2 police officers, blood running down my arm, in a very strange front room. There's an elderly couple in the distance, very afraid. The police are cuffing me and telling me all my charges. They're like DUI, evading police, breaking and entering, indecent exposure. So I don't think it was that indecent, if I'm being honest with you guys. But I tried to stop him. I tried to explain, no, I can't be drunk. No DUI for me, sir. I was the DD. Not me. Turns out they had heard that one before. Also, not a legal excuse in courts. But I get to the jail, and they fix me up with nicely cleaned used underwear with holes in it, a dirty, disgusting shirt, and just the finest orange uniform. And guys, I don't look good in orange, I'll be honest with you. A couple hours pass by, and my brain's racked. I can't figure out what happened last night. I don't know what's going on. Where did all these memories go? And then I get to my jail cell. And it takes a while before it finally opens, but I get a glimpse of my future prison husband. I don't get to see his face yet because his back is turned to me. He is using our communal toilet, and he's reading a book. And all I can see is staples going up the back of his head and some dried blood on his uniform. And I was like, all right, this is where I go to die. Doors finally open. I go into the room. I clearly see he is called the bottom bunk, so my big ass has to go up. So I go up, and he's silent. Hours pass by. He's just silent, sitting on that toilet reading his book. And eventually he looks up and he goes, "Hey, are those new socks?" And at this moment, I see it, you guys. I see the rest of the staples. The staples that went to the back of his head went all the way to the front of his face. This man was terrifying. He said, "Are those new socks?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Give them to me." And at this moment, contemplating my own mortality, I threw off some socks and I said, "Not worth it, not worth it." And then I sat there in fear for a few hours. And eventually I heard the sweetest sound a young boy like me could ever hear. Over the speakers I heard, "Mr. Welcher, would you like to go home today?" I cried out like I was crying out for my dad. "Yes, please." Doors open. I go home. Eventually, I find out what happened to me, you guys. Turns out that night, I was at that country bar, and my suspicions were correct. It was a disgusting place. You see, like I said, I had some females with me. Well, one gentleman, he saw 5 beers, a cranberry juice, and just assumed that the cranberry juice was for one of the females. The cameras show him walking to my drink, dropping the little tablets in, and waiting. Eventually, I take a sip of that drink, and you see that man take off, never to be found again. And so I guess from piecing it together from the police, what happened next was I just took off, left my friends. Really rude of the DD to do, by the way. And I drove into town, and here's something that you guys may not know about Rufalin. Makes you forget things. It also makes you really, really hot. So, I see some police in the streets, and my mind's racing. I, of course, avoid the police, hit a couple of stop signs on the way, and somewhere in the country, I wreck my car. I get out. Because the Rufalin has made me so sweaty, I strip off all my clothes. I then look at my ID because that's the only place I can think to find out where I live. I'm really fucked up. You guys, Rufalin does that to you. So I start walking the 5 miles to the address on the ID, but here's the thing. That was an old address. Had not been updated yet. So when I got to that house and my house keys did not work, I bashed in the window. And when the door to the bedroom was locked, I decided to take a little nap on the front room floor. Thus taking us to when I was woken up, you guys. And here's the thing, and I've been thinking about this since the 10 years had happened, and it haunts me every single day that if that guy would have just stayed in the bar a little bit longer, I probably would have fucked him. You guys have been amazing. Give it up for yourselves. Give it up for Spencer one more time.
Give it up for Buddy. That's why you stick around the bar a little bit longer. All right? You missed out on opportunities. But we still got one opportunity left. She told me to introduce her as the comedian because she is the comedian up next. Give it up for my friend and your next comic, Heather Rogue, everybody. Heather.
Hey everyone, how's it going? You doing good? Yeah, all right, cool. Yes, Camp Wanderlust. You know, I don't know what the theme is. I guess scary. You guys want to hear some scary stories or some fun stories? What do you guys? I don't know. Fuck it. I'm not really prepared right now. Yes, I am transgender, but how did you guess? Did you see my parking job? What gave it away? Seriously, good eye. This guy should be a detective. Nothing gets past him. I like how they're pointing at each other like, who's he? I didn't know. Oh, is it because my camel has 3 toes? I'm just kidding. I actually have a new vagina. No applause? It always gets an applause. It's not true. I just made it up for this joke, but keep that energy when it really happens, you guys. Yeah, it's kind of like this show, you know, we don't need production to have fun. All right, let's tell some stories. So I was riding a Greyhound like a month ago. You guys ever ridden one of those? That is not an excited reply. It's about what you expect with Greyhound. That was like a confession. So 7 people got kicked off this Greyhound in Eugene, Oregon, because they refused to put masks on their face. 7 people would rather be stranded in Eugene than wear a piece of cloth on their face for another hour and a half on the way to Portland. One guy, he was so mad, he's like, I'm never riding Greyhound again. Think about that for a minute. Isn't that what everyone says in the middle of a Greyhound ride? Like, you shopped bottom shelf, buddy. Don't regret it now. You bought the ticket, take the ride, you know? It's like, yeah, like, okay, you know, drinking Taka vodka, right? Like, everyone says that. I mean, honestly, that joke's not even about Greyhound. I'll never ride Greyhound again. I rode an Amtrak. I just thought Greyhound was funnier. I drink Tito's vodka. I got self-respect, you know? So still regret, but not as much, right? But yeah, all those people are probably in the hospital with COVID now. Yeah, you guys been to a hospital lately? The place is a shit show. Like, talk about, I feel for our healthcare workers, I really do, because it's nuts in there. I went in for an orchiectomy. Do you guys know what that is? Well, I'll tell you, it really takes some balls. Literally, like, Could you get one of those done? Do you think if you had like ball cancer, would you be able to do it, or would you just die? What is that beeping? Is that the microwave? Is my burrito done? Okay. Let me know when my burrito's ready. Yeah, I didn't have ball cancer. I just did it for fun, but I'm curious. But yeah, total shit show, I have to say. First of all, they lost all my information, so I had to fill it all out again. She's like showing me they had 4 pieces of information on me. 2 of them were wrong. They had the wrong phone number. They had the wrong gender marker. You know, it did not say the letter F like it's supposed to on my birth certificate. But it was just an oversight. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll correct it, you know, and then she helped some more people through after I filled out my paperwork. And then she comes back, prints my sticker out for my little bracelet. And guess what? The gender marker still does not say F. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, no, I'm sorry, it's just an oversight. And she looks up and she's like, what happened? She still doesn't have information. They lost it twice. Yeah, can you believe that? Shit, they lost paperwork so well it makes Facebook jealous. You know what I mean? It's like, what is this, Epstein Island? Come on. Jesus. I'm just hoping my surgery goes right, you know. Luckily, once I'm under the anesthesia, I don't care. I'm fine. I come out of it. I'm feeling great on the ride home. But my boyfriend gets this phone call. Hi, is Judith Choi there? His name's Justin. So I'm like, oh, I think this is the hospital. You guys are calling because I just had surgery. He was my ride home. They're like, oh, yeah, we're calling because we wanted you to know that Angel's surgery went great. And he's ready to be picked up now. And that's when I looked down and realized my appendix was missing. And poor Angel. He must have been so mad. That's the last time I ever used the hospital. It is. I like to think it's the same guy from earlier, but his voice is more high-pitched now. Oh, yeah. You know, being a hot girl is kind of scary. Lots of misadventures, as we all know. Like, you know, I got followed the other day, right? No big deal, just for 12 blocks. Yeah, I'm sure he was just going the same way, right? For 3 right turns, doubling back through an alley. Everyone goes that way, right? Cutting through a kitchen window, everyone goes that way. But then he's like, hey, you know I'm following you? Which, like, no, but now you've spoiled the surprise. Like, let me figure it out, you know what I mean? Don't, like, condescend to your audience, it's what I'm saying. I got spoilers too, you know? But I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm not saying anything because he doesn't know that I sound like Butch John Mulaney. He's mad because I'm not saying anything, so he's getting mad. He's like, hey, you know I have a 14-inch penis? Which is the angriest tone I think that I've heard someone say they had a 14-inch penis with. Like, you think you'd be happier about it, right? Like, hey, I have a 14-inch penis. I feel like you'd be happy about that. I don't know. But yeah, I still don't say anything. Now he's getting desperate. He's desperate now. He's like, what? You're not even curious? Turn around. Finally, I'm like, hey, buddy, I'm curious about a lot of things. Like, are you ready for a whole journey of self-discovery? I got more stories. This one's fun. I was hitchhiking. I used to hitchhike a lot. I stopped when I transitioned because it got scary. Like, just because they picked me up too fast. You know, like that shit used to take 2 hours, and suddenly it took 2 cars. It's like, there is an ulterior motive here. So now I'm like, oh yeah, how's it going? Oh, I'm just going up. Like, I am trying to pass my best. I do not want to be clocked because I don't know why this person picked me up. But then I'm thinking, is it better to be clocked? You know what I mean? Cause like I have friends that are afraid of being raped. I'm like, just say that you're trans, right? Because they won't want to rape you. You know? If you're like, hey, Ben raped me. Your name's Ben, right? It is now. Hey, Ben raped me. You're gonna be like, Ben? No, he's a good guy. He'd never do something like that. But if I was like, hey, Ben raped me, by the way, I know I never told you this before, but I have a penis. I'm transgender. You're gonna be like, what? Ben's gay? Fuck that guy. So I was hitchhiking one time. I got picked up by this guy out of Fortuna, Bigfoot country. I wish it'd been a Bigfoot. Instead, he just had an Alex Jones bumper sticker. I get in the car. He's like, hey, I need a brother. I need family right now. Are you family? I'm like, I'll hear you out. I just need you to say that I just need you to sign like a testimony, just a small little statement saying that you were at my house the other day and there was some guy at my house who may have been leaving some threatening voicemails to the government. That some other guy that was not me was at my house making these phone calls. And I was like, no, he's like, I need family. I was like, you need a lawyer. He's like, come on, will you at least help me find my buddy at the Delta? And I was like, okay, fine. So we go to the Delta, which if you don't know, it looks like a horror movie in the Delta. Like it's already set like one. And I'm a hitchhiker hanging out with somebody who's eventually going to show up at January 6th. Trying to help him track down a friend. Anyways, there's no punchline to that story. I made it out okay. It just got weird. You guys, I have to tell you, don't fuck a comedian, okay? Because they'll write a joke about it. Like this one. It was at a party for comedians, so like those were the options, you can't blame me. I didn't want to fuck anyone there, but then I did cocaine, right? That shit makes my pussy pop like a water balloon. And I warned them not to give me cocaine, but they were like, don't worry, Heather, no one here wants to fuck you anyways. Yeah, I was like, you say that now in front of your homies. Then once we're alone for 2 minutes, what happens, right? What happens? A dick pops into your mouth, right? Just me? So there I am sucking a dick on Dave Chappelle's patio. Places and names have been changed to protect identities. Because we got caught. Yeah, that's what happens when you ask a trans woman to suck your dick on a patio. People will see you. So they're pulling their phones out. They're going viral on Twitter. This guy's crying. He's like, oh my God, everyone's going to think I'm gay. I'm like, don't worry, baby, I got you. I turn around, I suck all their dicks. Now nobody's talking. They call me Agent 47 Dicks. Because I leave 0 witnesses. Nobody escapes. Nobody. You're all gay now. Mutually assured dick sucked by a trans woman. Hit that shit like a drummer. Just ping, pow, boom. Caught that one running. All right, you guys, I've been Heather Rogue. Give it up for your host, Spencer Sellers.
Heather Rogue, everybody. Heather Rogue. You go for some privacy on the veranda and they make a joke about it. Whatever, bitch. Anyway, I'm super excited for this next comedian. Give it up for one of the great up-and-coming comics in the Sacramento comedy scene right now. Give it up for Ashley Monique, everyone.
What's up, Stab? How you guys doing? Okay, so my story is not going to be particularly scary, but it is painfully embarrassing, so it's scary to me. I come from a long line of teen moms. It's a tradition started by my great-great-grandmother in 1983. My mom, she was a single parent growing up. We didn't always have much, but one year she managed to scrape together enough money for us to go to Hawaii, and it meant a lot to me, and I'll be eternally grateful for that. But while we were there, we did some ratchet-ass shit. It was just me, my mom, my brother, my grandma. We were all piled into one hotel room. And every time we would come back from the beach, there wasn't a lot of privacy. So my grandma would just let the hotel door close behind her, thumb the straps of her one piece, pull them beneath her knockers, and get completely and shamelessly naked. And my brother and I, we barely had time to avert our eyes, our eyes, her nipples would hit the floor at the same time. And my brother was 11 years old. He'd seen breasts before. I know this personally because I snitched on him for visiting www.boobs.com. But this was his first time seeing my grandmother's breasts, and for some reason, he wasn't as into it. And so he said, "Grandma, put some clothes on." And she said, "Listen, boy, I'm too old to give a shit. On this trip, you're going to see a lot of titties, ass, and pussy." And that's how it went. On the very first night that we were there was this complimentary luau dinner thing. So all the tables are set, and then each table's got a quarter of a pineapple that's sliced in its rind as the appetizer. We get there first. We eat our pineapple. My mom looks around, and she's like, "I want you to go to other tables and take their pineapple, and for the love of God, do not get caught." And so we do as she says, we go to the table, we sit down, I put the napkin in my lap, act natural, My brother flips the pineapple chunks into my lap, napkin, move to my mom's table, deposit, next table, move, move, move. Some sort of fucked up pineapple child heist movie. Pacific Ocean's 11. And the major flaw in my mom's plan is that she left children in charge of covering their tracks. I don't know if y'all have ever met children, but they're pretty dumb. And so the wait staff noticed that all of the tables had empty pineapple rinds on them, and that our table had a pile of pineapple slices. So management comes over to my mom and is like, "Excuse me, ma'am, we're going to have to ask you to allow the other guests to enjoy their pineapple. And if you continue taking pineapple from other people, we'll have to ask you to leave." And he's speaking in hushed tones because for some reason, after all that he's witnessed, he thinks my mom is someone who's capable of feeling shame. But my mom had been backed into this type of corner before, and I can see in her eyes that she's going to pull her signature move. I can see she's going to play the card, and I'm embarrassed to tell you about it now. But what she said was, "Are you actually accusing the only black family in this room of stealing? What evidence do you have that it was us?" And my mom is the bravest person I know because she's looking dead in his eyes while peering over the mountain of evidence that he has. And that shit keeps me up at night. The only other time I've been to Hawaii is with my boyfriend Mark and his family. We have very different backgrounds. He grew up in a well-off family. His dad's a doctor, and his mom does something that doesn't matter because she's married to a doctor. And these are wholesome Christian white people, their idea of a wild night is popping in a Jackie Chan movie and turning the subtitles off. And so I'm thinking this is going to be like a mutually beneficial situation. I got my ticket paid for by Mark's dad, and they get to look rich enough to afford to bring their maid with them. So, it's a win-win for everybody. And certainly I'm thinking to myself, these Ned Flanders-ass people are not going to do anything to embarrass me. So we get on the plane takes off, and my boyfriend pulls from his pocket an entire cooked chicken breast in a Ziploc bag. And he opens it, and the smell of Italian seasonings just fills the plane. And I was like, I'm all for smuggling some herb on a plane, but 6 a.m. is too early for oregano. And I just look at his mom, and I'm like, look at the man you raised, Diane. And she was like, Mark, where's my chicken? And this man pulls out 2 more chicken breasts from his pockets. I didn't even know how many, he had that many pockets. How did you just casually stroll through security with 3 pockets full of room temperature chicken breast? If I had been a TSA agent seeing that shit, I would have been like, yo, this isn't illegal, but I'm arresting you anyway. And they just are eating it with their hands. They open the Ziploc bag, and they're pushing it up like a push pop, just biting chicken breast bites out of the breast. And I was like, this is a plane, not a rocket ship. You can use a fork. We're not in zero gravity. I thought that rich people liked caviar or pate, like if they had pulled out a charcuterie board or some shit, that would have been cool and classy. But what kind of hyper-efficient psychopaths eat pocket chicken? With everything, after all of that, I would still rather travel with my family. The next time I go to Hawaii, the only breasts I want to see are my grandma's. All right, everyone, that's my time. Thank you, guys.
Give it up for Ashley Monique and your grandmother's breast. Yeah, just the maternal ones, not the dad side. Mom's got the good. Anyway, I digress. Speaking of good tits, bring it up for your. Don't worry, it's okay. Give it up for your next comic, Logan Farr.
What is up, Stab? Oh, some of you guys saw my chair and he's not getting up on the stage. I can. Oh, I'm going to start this out with some precursors. So I read this book by Chaos by Thomas O'Neill. It's about LSD use in the government. Not a good book to read before you do your first acid trip. I'm going to be real honest. And then also, this is also 3 months in to my journey as a comic. So I meet a new group of friends, and we're going to decide hey, let's go to Vegas and do acid. Oh, that's going to go well. And then, of course, the only person in this group of people who've done acid is the one guy, Cam, who says, hey, guys, this is strong acid. Only do a little bit. We're like, pussy, we've done acid before. No one in this group has done acid. We all lied. We're like, oh, we're tough guys. We can do it. We know what's going on in our heads. We did not. I'm going to be really honest. So basically, we decided, hey, we're going to go to Vegas. David Thorne. I'm going to use all real names here because fuck them. This is hilarious. David Thorne had a psychedelic comedy show. Basically, it's a show where you show up, you do a tab of acid, and then you go and watch comedy. Horrible night. We decided to road trip down there. We head down. I should have known the trip was going to go sideways from the beginning because we all pitched in. We got a 6-seater vehicle. The vehicle that shows up, Hyundai Santa Fe. The people who are laughing, no, that's not a 6-seater vehicle. That is a 5-seater vehicle with a ashtray that folds down, but if you fold it up, 6 people. Fantastic. Good thing I'm part Transformer, so when I get into a car ride, everyone's like, okay, Logan, you're in the back. It's fucked up that the only other black guy in the car was in the back with me, but it's like, I didn't plan it. I didn't make the ride. He got real weird when I said that. So we take the ride down. It's not good. It's like, it's going fine. We're having fun. We get there. The guy sitting next to me, Andre, we get to the hotel. He's like, hey, man, I think we should just drop acid early. I'm like, I'm fucking good, man. You have fun. He drops acid the second we get to the hotel. We haven't even checked in yet. We get there. I get the rooms. We decide to be a smart idea. We're not going to stay in the same room. We're going to get those weird conjoined rooms. You got the doors in between. Fantastic. The rooms are in my name, so I'm already freaking out. I'm like, these guys are pieces of shit. They're going to mess up the room, and that's all on my card. I'm fucked. Basically, Andre starts like kicking in. He's like getting loosey-goosey. He's having fun. We're enjoying it. There's 3 hours before the show even starts. We're not even supposed to show up yet. And all of a sudden, it starts kicking in with it real hard. Haven't you guys seen the movie Up? Yeah. He starts laughing like the bird, fucking throwing his head like, ha! Ha! All of us start looking like, can he be our friend anymore? Like, and then he starts changing personalities. It's like the weird thing. Like, so from this book, I fucking learned when you're on LSD, our government found out you're very suggestible when you're on LSD. You like change personalities, you start adopting the people around you. Andre's one of those people. He started adopting everyone's personality real quick. About 3 personalities in, he realized, I'm freaking everyone out. Like, we're all staring at each other like, okay, we can't talk to this man anymore. Like, we're not coming on with him. Fuck him. But then, like, I'm sober at this point. Like, I'm good. I'll be the ringleader. That's normally my role in the thing. I've been fucked up enough. I don't need any more damage. So I corral everyone down to the Uber. We all decide as we leave the room, let's all drop our acid now. We'll time it perfectly. We'll be spiking as we get to the show. We get in the Uber. We go down. We're having fun. We have to split up into 2 Ubers. Not a big deal. Me, my buddy Matt, and David get into 1 Uber. The rest of the guys get another fucking Uber. On our way there, we have this redneck fucking MAGA hat wearing dude driving his Prius. Not a really bad start. It started bad about halfway through in a 30-minute Uber when he starts blaring the police scanner. Oh, I don't know if you've ever done acid, but a police scanner is not what you want to hear. Oh, Matt's in the middle. I'm cuddled up next to him like, man, what the fuck is going on? I'm spiking early. David hasn't done anything. David has a show tonight. He's being responsible. Me and Matt are freaking out. He's like, you'll be fine, guys. You'll have fun. Like, okay, I'm fucking hugging Matt. We're going. We get there. We all arrive at the same time. And at the venue, there's this little offshoot where everyone could sit. I fucking sprint over there. I had my legs. I wasn't in my chair. Yeah, I'm way faster out of my legs. So I'm freaking out. I head over there. I'm like, I can't be around people. Like, I don't know how to do this. Me, Matt, and David head over to the table. David thinks we're freaking out a little bit too much. He's like, okay, I'm going inside. I'm going to check in with the promoter. Me and Matt are sitting there, hanging out. And we slowly stare at each other. Look straight ahead. Back. And then we start fucking giggling like madmen. We had no idea what was going on. All of a sudden, we get in this fucking cycle. Who has ever done acid in this crowd? Losers. Basically, acid messes with your sense of time. You have no sense of time. So me and Matt kept looking at each other, and then like 7 years would go by. Like, it was fucking weird. All of a sudden, but we kept laughing. We were not talking at all. We were laughing at the same jokes. We were talking telepathically. We're like, we're gods. We were not gods. We were just idiots who did way too much acid. And then I had the bright idea. I'm like, okay, David's show starts in 10 minutes. I got to get up. So I'd get off the stool. I'd walk to the railing. Breathe. I can't make it inside. Go back. That happened 15 fucking more times. David's already on stage. Me and Matt are looking at each other. Are we bad friends? Like, we're freaking out already. We can't do this. Like, we're bad friends. Eventually, we work up our courage. Like, okay, let's go inside. Well, also the thing with acid is, for some reason, technology and acid, no go. It doesn't fucking work. Our tickets are on our phones. I get there. The lady's like, okay, can I see your ticket? My phone's in hieroglyphs? I don't know what to hand you. And like, I'm tense. I'm freaking out. I'm like, she's going to think I'm stealing from this $5 ticket. She's not going to let me in. They're going to call the cops. I'm on acid. My mom's going to be upset. I'm so fucked. And Cam, the guy who did the acid the previous weekend, is like, hey, He's fine. I promise you he paid for this $5 ticket. Can you please let him in? It's like, well, we have to have proof. The second I hear proof, like, I'm fucking out. I run outside. Sit down outside. I'm like, I can't handle this fucking show. The promoter of the show finally fucking shows up. Well, the issue is this guy's been using drugs a long time. He's cocky. Too cocky. He asks us, like, hey, guys, do you have any extra acid? Yeah, we do. Hey, man, please only take a little bit. It's very strong. Here's where the arrogance kicked in. Boys, I've been doing drugs longer than you've been alive. That was the start of our horrible fucking night. We saw him like, oh no, we got to get out of here. He's going to freak out. We immediately called an Uber, got in the Uber. The issue is when I have my legs on, I don't like sitting in tight spaces. I get cramped up. It's weird. Like right now, I'm mobile. I can fit in small spaces. My legs on, I can't. So I take them off, I throw them in the back. Uber driver does not like that. He freaks out like, why you got to make so much noise? I'm like, what do you mean? Matt, 7 balls deep in this fucking trip. He's like, my buddy's got no legs. Why you giving him a hard time? I'm giggling, having a good time in the back seat. This guy has an iPad in the back seat. I'm hitting buttons, having fun. The only issue is it's not that secure. So 5 minutes into the trip on the way back, I knock it off onto the ground. And I'm fucked up. Like it's in there. I'm like, I can't reach it. The Uber driver starts screaming, are you stealing my tablet? I can't deal with aggression when I'm fucked up. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. He starts screaming. I'm like, no! Matt's yelling at him. He's like, just take us to the 4 Queens. Eventually, we figured out the fucking tablet. We get it back up and we head to the 4 Queens. And then the next part of our adventure. This was at the beginning of the pandemic when Vegas decided, you know what's good for people fucked up on mass amounts of alcohol and drugs? Checkpoints with thermometers and people who look like robots. That fucked my world up. Like I went through like, I'm getting arrested tonight. So I act all calm. I get through the checkpoint. Actually ends up fine. Obstacle number 2. Elevators full of mirrors. Oh, I get in there. I was on the elevator for what felt like 15 years. It was fucking horrible. I'm staring like, oh my God, I made so many wrong choices. And then the next wrong choice was I got off on the wrong floor with my boys. Well, we get off and it's like, we're fucking, okay. Let's get to the room. And then we realize we're on the wrong floor. Fuck. So we're easing our way back. There's a man at the fucking, the vending machine. He sees us. He's like, what are you guys doing? He's coming for our souls. We sprint to the fucking elevator. Oh my God. We get to the elevator, we finally get back to our hotel room. And this is when it really goes downhill for me. Because all of a sudden, I don't remember the entire trip to the hotel room. All I remember is I'm laying in a dingy-ass hotel room with 2 other dudes. It's dirty as fuck. I'm like, I'm in purgatory. I've died. That is not what you fucking want when you're on an ass trip. It's thinking you've died. I start freaking out. So my thing is, if you're under psychedelics, I lay there. I'm like, I'm going to go deep in my head. These guys being strangers 3 months into my comedy tour, my comedy dream, I don't know how they're going to handle it. They don't know I get quiet when I'm on psychedelics. They start freaking out. So they're like, Logan, wake up. But every time they touched me, all I heard was the defibrillator. Like fucking, woo! Well, it fucked me up. And so I start getting agitated. Matt, he's Mexican. He gets agitated pretty easily. He starts screaming about how the Aztecs have taken our land. He's going fucking nuts. I'm freaking out. At this point, because I'm in purgatory, I don't remember any of them being my friends. Like, there are aspects of my personality that have fucked up. So I'm like, how did I die? And then every so often someone touched me, I hear the defibrillator. I'm like, oh, it's going horrible. And then Matt keeps like, fucking pounding his chest. This is our land. They took our land. And so I'm like, that's my anger. That's the anger part of my personality. I can't handle that shit. Well, Matt starts seeing me as competition. Oh, yeah, it gets worse. He grabs me by my shirt. He's like, what did we do wrong? That's a horrible thing to say when you think you're already dead and in purgatory trying to figure out what happened. Starts shaking me. And in my head now, that's not Matt. That's a figment of my imagination that is anger and hate. And in my head, it's like, okay, either I kill this aspect of myself or I accept it with love and forgiveness. I chose love and forgiveness. The best part about the conjoined rooms is I realized I needed space. I'm like, okay, guys, and I'm still thinking they're demons. I'm like, okay, guys, hey, I need 2 minutes to myself. Can you go in the other room? Like, yo, no problem, Logan, no problem. I shut the door, fucking lock it, latch it up. I'm in my own hotel room by myself. The other guys come back from the comedy tour. They get in there. There are now 4 guys in 1 room with 1 bed. I have a whole room to myself, and I'm fucking excited because my demons are no longer trying to kill me. The only issue is they have a card to the same room. But I latched it. So all they could do is open it and jam the little hands through. I had just watched it. So all that's going through my head is that burning arms. Logan, let me in. And that's all they're saying. Like, I'm hungry. My clothes are in there. Once again, they're not my friends. They're fucking demons. Oh my God. So I'm like, I'm not letting you in. I'm getting hot and bothered. Like, these demons are trying to kill me. I'm not letting them in. Fuck them. So I get naked. I'm like, I'm in the shower. But on acid, you get spacey. So I kept fucking up. Like, I would go walk around, like, okay, I'm gonna go shower. Is that a fucking headphone? What is that? And I kept pacing the room naked. And eventually I get into the goddamn shower, only to realize there's 15 goddamn knobs, and I don't know which one to use. So I get frustrated. Like, fuck, rip one of the knobs. I'm like, goddamn, I gotta pay for this. I'm like, I'm dead. It doesn't matter. Okay. So I get out of the shower because I couldn't fucking figure it out. I made another classmate. I stared back in the mirror, and I start seeing myself fucking change. Fucking every iteration of me that has ever been and ever will be. Me going through the mirror like, oh, I'm so fucked. This doesn't get better from here. And then I get out, and I start calming down. Like, okay, you know what I need to do? Smoke a cigarette. Yeah, oh, dude, cigarettes? I don't care what anyone says. That is what takes you down from an acid trip. I'm laying out the window just staring, seeing the fucking heartbeat of the land. And all of a sudden I start coming down from my trip. I hear the demons quieting down the other room. I peek through, they're all sleeping. Andre thinks he's fucking smart, sleeping with one eye open like, Logan's opened the door to kill us. Luckily, I was coming down. I saw them like, okay, we're good. We're calm. They're my friends. They're not demons. And then we didn't talk for 9 months after that. Oh, Stab, you've been fantastic. Please welcome back your host, Spencer.
Give it up for Logan Farr, everybody. Yes. Oh, my God. Are you guys ready for your last comic of the evening? Yes. Yeah, one more time. Are you ready for your last comic of the evening? Yeah! All right, this guy hosts the Random Thoughts podcast. Give it up for Robert Amoto.
This is so goddamn weird. Because I tried to go to the bathroom earlier. And fucking, this dude is in the bathroom and the door wasn't locked, and none of those assholes told me it was, like, he was in there. So I walked, I hit it. I didn't even take like a normal step in. It was like 3 steps in, and this fool's pissing like a goddamn 6th grader. Why are your pants down so far? I just see cheeks. Like I went all the way in and had to come back. I'm like, why didn't you guys tell me? Like, I thought it was locked. So weird. I had to go back out, but I waited. This is good shit, man. It's weird to meet you like that. I feel like we should hang out later. You look like you do squats. I don't know. You know, I shouldn't be thinking about your ass while I'm up here, man. It's not how I wanted to come out. I'm just going to talk about my trip to the Philippines, man. And first of all, some background story is my mom was adopted by her aunt. I'm sorry, by her aunt. And they married twin brothers, her biological mom in the Philippines. And they never told us that, right? So like my grandparents here, I always just thought they were my grandparents till I was 25. And the reason we had to go to the Philippines is because her biological mom got sick out there. So she finally had to tell us, and which is weird because no one in the family told her not to tell us that shit. She was just weird. She didn't want to tell us, you know. But my whole family knew, and like I kind of started thinking about it because my cousin, I would be playing with my asshole cousin. I'm like going to my grandma's house. He's like, oh, you mean your fake ass grandma's house? And I didn't know what he was talking about, you know. And then I was like, you fucking asshole, you knew back then because I thought you knew. Your mom didn't tell you. I'm like, no. So she tells me that she's sick and she has 4 brothers over there and a sister. So it kind of blows my mind. I have to leave in 2 weeks to go to the Philippines. She's never been back since. And she doesn't speak Tagalog or nothing. She knows nothing about the culture. So we go to San Francisco airport, fly out, and she just does not know anything about the Philippines, just what's in her head, right? So we get to the luggage to where they weigh it, and they're like, ma'am, your bag's overweight, and you got to take some stuff out. And she opens her bag. There's a huge line of people. The San Francisco airport is packed. She opens her bag, and then she takes 2 huge bricks of cheddar cheese out, why the fuck is that? Like cocaine. Everyone in the line was like, what the fuck is she taking? It was 2 of them. I'm like, Mom, you don't think they have cheese over there? It wasn't even good cheese. It was Kraft, I didn't even know they made it that big. And then she took 2 out. They're the entire line's laughing at her. I'm like, why do you have this? She goes, because we have good cheese here. I'm like, that's not good cheese. Why is it 2 feet long? I didn't know where you got it. And then we get on the plane, dude, and then I'm trying to ask her something serious, and she's reading a book, not paying attention to me. And I'm like, hey, Mom, I'm trying to talk. And she's rubbing her leg, not just reading. And I was like, what the fuck are you reading? Because she wasn't paying attention to me, and she was reading 50 Shades of Grey, which is disgusting now that I was thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to know what those seats felt like after she got up. Yeah, it's my mom, fuck you. I had to deal with that shit on the plane. Scarred me for life, this dude's cheeks in the back. Your cheeks are going to pop in my head once a week for no reason. I'm not even going to know your name. You look like an R&B singer. Skin was smooth. It was a goddamn Friday at Stab. It was foggy outside. Yeah, so we, dude, and before we got off the plane, again, she doesn't know anything about the Philippines, just what she thinks in her head. She gets off, before we get off, she goes, this is not a game out here. It's a third world country. It's dangerous. You need to act like, you've been here before. So we go, get off the airplane, go to exchange her money. And she has $5,000 exchange. Now she has a ton of money in her hand. And she just completely acts lost. She goes, where do we go? What do we do? And I'm like, put the fucking money away. There's guards with machine guns just looking at her, And then we finally get to, her mom's house. And I did not know, first of all, out there, they keep the body in the house so people can view. It's very weird. It's just there's a glass case over the casket, and then you just go. And they didn't tell me that shit either. I walked in, I'm waving at people like, oh, what the fuck is that? Jesus Christ, it's 103 degrees out here. They don't have AC. Yeah, it's disgusting. So it's just in the living room, and they don't have a big house. It's as big as this thing, and people are just talking to me like it's normal. I'm like, yeah, it's good living in the States. Hey, get rid of that fucking body. How about that? Stop talking to me about how it is in California, and get rid of that rotting body. This is offensive. But my mom just didn't have any idea of how it was out there, man. So she's buying shit. She bought it. They didn't have it. She saw they didn't have a toilet seat, the actual seat that folds down. So she went and bought them one, and then one of my cousins is like, hey, you ever had a balut? And I'm like, no. What is that? And what that is, it's a fertilized duck egg. It's half hatched. And I'm like, I'm trying to represent for my family. I'm like, I'll try anything. Go get it, and because we started drinking, I'm like, they're going to forget. We're going to get drunk, and they're going to forget. We're chilling there. He walks outside and comes back in with it. I'm like, why the fuck is that so readily available? He walked outside. He's like, some guy sells them on the corner right there. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, so then I ate it, and I thought I was a man, but I threw up all over that new toilet seat. That shit was, it was gross. It was crunchy, man, and so meeting the family out there too. She had a shady ass brother that I didn't know about. You start finding stuff out about family because we've been sending boxes of clothing and all this stuff to help the family out there, And once we found out, she's sending tons of boxes. So we get there. I'm excited to see my cousins. I'm like, man, you guys been getting all this stuff? I've been sending old work clothes. They said, we'll take anything. I've been sending clothes, tons of stuff. And they're like, no, we didn't get none of it. And then we've been sending boxes. Oh, you got to ask my Uncle Roger about all that. So apparently he'd been getting all the boxes, being shady and keeping all the shit. And he's giving us a tour of where she's going to get buried. And we're walking the next day. This fool's got on my on the border hat. I used to work at a restaurant. And he's wearing my mom's jeans. He doesn't even he's trying to talk to me. He's acting like he's crying. I'm like, you fucking shady motherfucker. And they fit them well too, which is weird. There's a ton of shady people out there, man. My cousin Glendon was shady as shit. You know what he does for a living? He like just tries to catfish people with horrible English too. Like he's the one that's like on Instagram that tries to add you, you know, like the sexy lady and the English all fuck up. That's what he does for a living. He told me that, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you? He goes, yeah, we got a guy to fly out here. I'm like, that's not cool, dude. It's not. He's like, yeah. He's like, he came into the cafeteria area. He gave us like $4,000. I was like, that's fucked up. Yeah, but he's shady, and he's like, dude, you want some? I know a guy that sells like bootleg Beats headphones. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go get those. You know, I don't care about your past, man. I'm not here to judge you. Let's go get these headphones. We went to like the shadiest market. I don't know how they knew this dude, but we kept going curtain by curtain, and then they finally knew him, and then they brought the headphones out. But that's the kind of people that I met out there. And he ended up taking us to a club. And what's cool out there is your money quadruples pretty much. All right, so that's like the currency doesn't matter, but your money quadruples out there. And we went to a club. They're like, you guys want, you know, the line was long. Like, we can't get in. And I was with some people that were from San Francisco. Like, wait, how much is it to get in? And like, oh, it'd be like, you know, $70 for a booth and 3 bottles. I was like, what the fuck? I'm buying that, you know? So we get in there, and I had never gotten women so easily because they just like the fact that I'm from the States, so I don't have an accent. So I was just getting girls to talk to me because I would just say, hey, where's the bathroom? And then, oh, he's from the States. And they don't even know where are you from? I try to have a conversation. It would never go well. I'm like, I'm from Sacramento. And they're like, oh, yeah. So I started changing. Like, where are you from? I'm like, from Hollywood. I fucking surf all the time with Brad Pitt, bitch. All right. You want me to change your life or what? Because that was the thing, dude. I did go on a few dates out there. And I took a girl on a date. And, dude, they're so happy to meet someone from the States because you could change your life. Even if you sent $50 like a month, that would change the family's life. She brought me home at 2 a.m. to meet her parents. Like, you know how insane that is, dude? I had a mohawk at the time, you know? I was wearing a tank top. I have tattoos. Like, what would happen out here if you brought home someone at 2 a.m. You know what I mean? A dude, you'd get shot, right? They woke up. They made me breakfast and shit. They're making me eggs and shit. They're asking me where I'm from. Like, Hollywood, bitch. You know what it is. I've never felt like rich before, man, but I did out there, you know, because I was doing dumb shit. All right, like I did have the mohawk at the time, and I needed to do the back of the hair. I needed an extra mirror. I'm like, I don't want to walk to the store. We're in a hotel. I walked by like a Kinko's. It's like, you know, Kinko's out there, and I saw a mirror on the wall, so I went up to the girl, and I'm like, hey, that mirror on the wall, that's for sale. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, the mirror on the wall, go get it. And she went and got it, and I'm like, here, I give you $10, which is like probably what they make in days. Like, you give me the mirror. And then I gave her that, and then everyone ran up to her, you know, like it was fucking. So I'm that American that, you know what I mean? That was crazy, because that's probably what she would have made in like 3 days. And yeah, so I'm a good person. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I just didn't want to walk to the goddamn thing. I was hungover. I tried to flip it like I'm fucking helping them out. I just didn't want to walk. She probably got fired. You can't just sell shit like that. You can't just sell this shelf and then be like, you're fired. You can't do that. I went into a McDonald's drunk, you know, after the club, and then I was drunk talking to my cousin, and, you know, the menu changed all of a sudden. It wasn't fucking whatever, changed to breakfast. And I went up there, and she's like, I was like, okay, some nuggets? And she's like, no, we changed to breakfast. I was like, that's funny, because you didn't, you know? I was like, would you like 1,000 pesos? She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'll give you 1,000 pesos. And the security guard came up because he knew I was drunk. He's like, what's going on? I was like, you're about to get 1,000 pesos too. And I just gave everyone 1,000. It wasn't even a lot of money. You're literally handing out like $5, but everyone's down. So I fucking changed the menu at McDonald's. I was like, God damn, I feel like LeBron in this bitch. Who else needs money? You just do dumb shit like that, dude. Okay, out there they don't talk on the phone a lot because it costs a lot of money. So you can just, what they do is they get load, which is like, they pay for a certain amount of text messages. And I never felt more rich because the girl I, you know, was talking to out there, we went into a 7-Eleven. I was like, what do you got to go in here for? She's like, I got to get some more load. I was like, I got that. How much load you need? And she goes, she was only going to get like a couple dollars worth of it. And I'm fuck that. I'm going to give you 2 months worth of load. I got your load, baby. She can't text me. She doesn't have my number. I was like, I'm dipping out. I'm dipping out after this. It's not going to work out. She already had a kid. Fuck that. From another American. No, fuck that. She's trying to scam me. She's shady. All right. Let me see what. Yeah, and I'm trying to think of. So the funeral ends up happening, man, and they march the whole body through town. You know, it's a big deal. And at the end, you know, everyone's saying their final graces, everything. My mom's up there; they're all crying and everything. And there's a huge line. The whole town's there, and everyone's in line. And they pop off the top, you know, so everyone can get the final blessing. Because in the Philippines, you know, you put the hand to the forehead, and that's like a blessing. And see everyone in line standing to do it. And my mom's sitting watching me not move, and she's like, "What do you get in line?" I was like, "I'm not putting that green hand on my fucking head. Are you out of your goddamn?" It's been like a week and a half. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I see everyone doing it, and I'm like freaking out because I'm moving to the front, and I'm like, I'm not. This shit does not look right. It looks like I got Tales from the Crypt Hand. Like it's not good, and everyone's crying and shit. I'm like, I'm not. So I did that shit. You know, I acted like I got like 4 away, and then I just doubled back to the end of the line. And I never did it, and I don't give a fuck. I still don't feel bad to this day, and I'm glad I saw your ass cheeks. Thank you guys very much, man.
Robin Emoto, everybody! Yay! Hey, you guys have been amazing. Oh my God, keep it going for yourselves. Keep it going for Cameron's black ass. Yeah! All right, keep it one more time. Hey, give it up for Jesse. He runs the place. He's the shit. Thank you, Jesse. We'll be back hopefully next month, first Friday, 9 p.m. See you there. We're working on the outro. All right.
Thank you guys for coming out. That is Stab for the night. Check us out, stabcomedytheater.com for the full calendar of events. Tomorrow night we've got improv at 8 and 9. You can check that out. Dregs Craig. You know what? Just check it. You guys are trying to leave. I'm not going to be a bother. Go check out what we've got at the website. And for the online audience, let's send you guys. Oh, where are we going to send you? Who's doing stuff? Let's see. Oh, I don't want to send you where they're going to be wrapping up because that would be a waste. So, what are they doing at Unexpected Productions? Are they still running? No. Sorry. We've got an audience tonight. I want to make sure they go somewhere. So, all right. It looks like they're still going. Let's send you guys to Unexpected Productions. Have fun. See some improv. I hope they're not going to wrap it up. I'll see you guys in a few. See you guys tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Dregs and Craigs, 8 o'clock. Regular exclusive blend, 9 o'clock. It's the Mix Fits. Hold on, I'm trying to... there we go. Send you guys over. Hold on for the raid. See you guys tomorrow.